What's good, everyone, and welcome to Summon the Pack. If you're new to the channel, my name's Jake. Glad to have you here. Now, this is the second video in an ongoing series that I'll be creating videos for approximately 3 months after each new set's release. Now, for a standard legal set, it's typically around this time frame that we see a set supply really start to outpace its demand. The meta is starting to settle in, and thus the overall value of the set is likely to be lower than it'll be while it's legal and standard. Now, Modern Horizons is a bit trickier because of its eternal nature, but with attention starting to shift with Throne of Eldraine coming out soon, and potentially a new premium type set coming at the end of this year, I think now is a fine time to cover Modern Horizons. So right now what I like to bring to light are a number of cards in each rarity that I personally like. Now, these are just a few of the cards that I'm excited about picking up or holding that I think have pretty good long-term potential and are priced fairly well when I think about what their price and value could be down the road. Now, if you think I've missed any really obvious ones, or there are any cards that I haven't included in the list that you like, definitely let me know in the comments. And without further ado, let's hop into my top picks of Modern Horizons 1. My honorable mention goes to Force of Negation. Now, I have Force of Negation as my honorable pick because it is quite expensive today. It's around $40. And while I think this is a modern mainstay and a cross-format all-star, $40 is quite expensive. Now, I think this could potentially go all the way up to 50, 60, maybe even 70, depending on how it's reprinted and handled in the future. But I do love Force of Negation, and that is why it is my honorable mention. Now, for the common slot, I have 4 picks: Arkham's Astrolabe, Springbloom Druid, Segovian Angel, and Spore Frog. Arkham's Astrolabe is quite unique, it being a snow permanent and just having a fantastic ability. It's priced at just over $1 today. All of these are very dependent on how reprints are handled, but Arkham's Astrolabe has the potential of reaching astronomical value as a common, similar to cards like Simian Spirit Guide. Springbloom Druid, when it enters the battlefield, you sacrifice the land, and when you do, we get to search our library for up to 2 basic lands, put them on the battlefield tapped, then shuffle our library. This is fantastic for EDH decks like Gitrog. Not only are we putting the land into our graveyard and being able to draw cards, but we're also ramping and getting a body out of it. So decks that care about putting lands in their graveyard, being able to play lands out of their graveyard, and perhaps decks that care about landfall. This gets 2 landfall triggers out of it. I think Springbloom Druid is a fantastic card, and at less than a quarter, this is an easy pickup or hold. Segovian Angel, this isn't a format-breaking card by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a 1/1 flying angel for 1. There's a huge following for angels. This will always have a home in certain casual players' decks, and for that reason, I think it's a great pickup or hold at less than a quarter. Spore Frog, also, right now, less than a quarter. Before Modern Horizons was printed, this was like a $2.50 common. Now, I don't know that this will ever reach that level again. This could certainly reach $1 again over the long term. So for uncommons, we have Generous Gift, Tribute Mage, and all of the talismans. So Generous Gift is fantastic. It is a Beast Within for white. It deals with any permanent at instant speed. Now, white has a number of ways to deal with permanents. It has some really great creature removal in Swords to Plowshares, Path to Exile, but Generous Gift is fantastic in that it deals with any problem permanent. I don't expect this to go away. At $1, I think this is even safe to pick up. I certainly wouldn't suggest trying to trade your copies away. Tribute Mage is just over a quarter right now. It is one of the top 10 registered cards on EDH Rec out of Modern Horizons. It does such great things in EDH. Being able to play a 2/2 body while tutoring for a significant artifact that'll help advance your game plan is a very powerful effect. And then all the talismans, these are fantastic ramp options for your more casual formats. They are all under $1. Most of them are right around 50 cents. I think these, again, are cards that you certainly shouldn't be trading away, and look to pick them up out of people's trade binders as extra throw-ins. For our rares, we have all of the Horizon lands: Giver of Runes, Collector Oomph, Hall of Heliod's Generosity, and Goblin Engineer. Now, I have a lot of rares on here, I know, but I lumped all of the Horizon lands into one. I think the price on these in general is pretty fair. I don't know that these will all reach that $20, $25, $30 mark, but Waterlogged Grove, for instance, is around $10. I think that is super, super cheap for these lands. I think anything under $20 for all of these lands is pretty cheap, especially Waterlogged Grove, Silent Clearing, Nurturing, Peatland. Those are the cheapest out of the bunch. Don't be shy to pick these up out of trade binders when given the opportunity. Giver Ruins, while it doesn't have very strong EDH and Oathbreaker applications, it has the potential to really be a staple all-star in Modern and even Legacy. Personally, I run this in a mono-white Oathbreaker deck, and I found it to do a ton of work. I think this is a fantastic card in Modern, especially with Stoneforge Mystic being unbanned. Giver of Ruins has the potential to see a ton of play going forward at just under $10 a piece. I don't know that it has huge growth potential, but over time, especially when I think 2, 3, 4 years into the future, if this doesn't get reprinted into Oblivion, I think this could be a $15, $20, maybe even a $20 card. Collector Oomph, here again, cross-format all-star, sees a ton of sideboard play in Modern. It definitely does a ton of work in the right EDH deck, shutting down your opponent's artifacts. At under $5, we could see double the value in a number of years. Hall of Heliod's Generosity, any time that a card's printed that becomes a 100% auto-include in a fairly popular deck in any format, be it Modern, Legacy, Standard, Oathbreaker, in this case EDH, if it's coming in at about $3, I can't wait to get more copies of it. Hall of Heliod's Generosity is an absolute all-star in Enchantress or Enchantment Matters decks. Now the foils are quite expensive, but at just over $3 for non-foil versions, this card is amazing. Goblin Engineer. Now this is really only seen play in a couple of Modern decks, but I think its potential is huge. Over time it has the potential to get more and more powerful as more and more cards are being printed, so I like this at just over $3. And then for our mythics, Yawgmoth Thran Physician and Sword of Truth and Justice. These are my two favorite mythics to pick up or hold over the long term. There's a ton of value to be gained with Yawgmoth and Sword of Truth and Justice. Yawgmoth is about $14 right now. Sword of Truth and Justice, even though it went up to about $12 because of the Stoneforge Mystic unban, I still think that it has a ton of potential. I could see both of these being north of $20 by the middle end of next year. So those were my top picks out of Modern Horizons 1. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Overall, I'm a huge fan of the cards that we were given in this set. I think the concept is fantastic. For years, I had been hoping for a set that would print cards directly to Modern, allowing us to get some of those more powerful spells that we wouldn't have to worry about ruining Standard. I think Wizards knocked it out of the park with this set. I hope they keep it going. And I seriously can't wait for Modern Horizons 2 whenever or if ever it comes. So again, thanks for checking out the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed this one, chances are you'll enjoy my other videos, so make sure you check those out. Your support is greatly appreciated. So any comment you leave, liking the video, sharing, and of course subscribing are a huge help. And until the next one, my friends, I will see you later. Take care of yourselves. Have a fantastic day, and bye-bye.